Hello friends, my name is BK Kolhapure. In earlier videos, you have seen an element subjected to normal stresses, that is stresses perpendicular to the plane, or you have seen stresses acting, these are the normal stresses, or the shear stresses acting parallel to the plane. We have seen the stresses are acting parallel to the plane. So these stresses are known as the shear stresses. Today we will see in this video the elements subjected to normal stresses as well as shear stresses, and we call such a combination of stresses as complex stresses or compound stresses, where you will be seeing the normal stresses as well as the shear stresses. Now for example, if you see an element, if it is subjected to stresses sigma 1, sigma 1, these stresses are normal stresses and they are acting in one direction. We call it as unidirection or uniaxial, I can call uniaxial force in the same axis. Suppose if you see an element like this here, there are stresses in this x direction and there are stresses in y direction. We call such type of stress system as normal only because they are perpendicular to the surface, normal biaxial stresses. Normal biaxial stresses. Now if you see to this figure, this element is subjected only to shear stress. It is subjected only to shear stress. And another minute, if I show the normal stresses sigma 1, sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 2 in both the directions biaxial. In addition, I will show the shear stress acting on this. If I represent the shear stress by Q, this is the Q, all four arrows will be the same. Shear stress will remain the value as Q. Now here, if you see the difference between this figure and this figure, in this figure you are seeing only there are normal stresses acting, and this is a plane where only normal stress is acting. This is another plane where only normal stresses is acting. When there are only normal stresses acting on a plane, we call that plane as principal plane. Principal means main plane. Now here there are two principal planes, one is sigma 1, another is sigma 2. So here we get two types of planes. One is the major with the higher value, the second one will be the minor with the lower value. So what is a principal plane? Principal plane is a plane where only there are normal stresses acting, that is only normal stresses. So these are the principal plane. Now if I see to this plane also, it is also same, but on this plane you are seeing that in addition to the normal stress, there is shear stress acting. Whenever a shear stress is acting on a plane, we don't call that plane as the principal plane. So principal plane is a plane where there are only normal stresses acting and no shear stress acting. No shear stress. We call such plane as principal planes. Now, the stresses that are acting on the principal plane, we call them as principal stresses. Principal stresses. So, what are principal stresses? Principal stresses are the stresses acting on a principal plane. And what is a principal plane? Principal plane is a plane on which there are no shear stress acting, only normal stresses are acting. So, these are known as the principal planes, major and minor. Respectively, we have got principal stresses. Principal stress acting on major plane is known as major principal stress. Stress acting on the minor plane, we call it as the minor stress. So major plane, principal plane, minor principal plane, major principal stress, minor principal stress. So in this case, this is principal plane. This is principal plane. Only normal stress. These are not principal plane because shear stress is acting. In this also, in addition to the normal stress, we are seeing shear stress. Wherever shear stress comes, that plane cannot be normal plane, and the corresponding stress cannot be the normal stress. So here remember, principal plane is a plane where there are no shear stress acting. Now we have to solve the problems on this. So for that we need some sign convention. So let us take the sign convention. So whenever we see about normal stresses, it will be subjected to tension and compression axial. If it is subjected to tension, we take its sign as positive, sigma 1, sigma 1. Sigma 1 will be positive. If it is subjected to compression like this, sigma 1, sigma 2, 1, so this is compression. So we take the forces as negative. Now here, if I consider any plane, now this is ABCD, these are rectangle or a triangle. If I consider any plane here, BE, at an angle theta with the x plane. So in my case, I will be taking this as the x plane always. So we know that whenever we measure the angle in anti-clockwise direction, it is positive. So now when I measure the angle from the x face in anti-clockwise direction, we take it as positive. Similarly, if I take the plane from this, if I measure it in clockwise direction, so this will be negative. Now if I take the shear stress, this is up means this is down, equal and opposite, Q, Q. When these two stresses are there, according to the complementary shear stress, you get another two stresses of the same intensity, Q and Q. Now this is my x phase. If I consider this force and this force or this stress, you see they are tending to rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Whenever it is tending to rotate in anti-clockwise direction along the x-axis, we take it as positive. If you see the shear stress, if it is acting in clockwise direction, we take it as negative. Clockwise will be negative. So these are the some of the sign conventions which we will be adopting. Now suppose if I have shown this plane BE, if I consider any plane BE, this plane BE, whether it is subjected to normal stresses or whether it is subjected to tensile stresses. If it is like this, these we take it as positive. This is tensile and this is the stress acting parallel to the plane. If this is the case, we take it as positive. Otherwise, if it is acting like this, it is compressive. And this, if it is acting like this, Q or sigma T, if I call tangential and normal, sigma N. If this is the case, we take them as negative. So this we will be using when we go to the problem. Important thing is whether it is tension or compression, whether it is anti-clockwise or clockwise, or whether the angle is anti-clockwise or clockwise. So these will help us to design the or analyze the problems. Now in this chapter we come across two categories of problems. One is you will be knowing the stresses. Suppose you know stresses sigma 1, you know sigma 2, you know sigma 2. In addition, if there are shear stresses acting like this, then first category of problem is I will give you a plane making an angle theta, and you are required to find out on this plane how much will be the normal stress and how much will be the tensile stress. So the first category is with given stresses, stress system, determine normal stress sigma n and tangential stress we abbreviate it as sigma t on a given plane. So as I told you, a stress system is given to you. I have given a plane. On this plane you are required to find out normal stress and tangential stresses. This is the first category of problem. Second category of problem is I will be giving you normal stresses or with the shear stresses, whatever may be the combination. You are required to find out a plane where there will be only normal stress. And when there is a plane with only normal stress, no shear stress, we call this plane as principal plane. So second category is with given stress system, determine the principal plane. principal plane and principal stresses and its plane where they are acting. So these are the two categories of problem. Given stress system, a plane will be given to you. You will have to find out normal stress and tangential stress. Or a stress system will be given to you. You will have to find out the angle made by the principal plane and the principal stresses acting, major principal stress and minor principal stress. So today we will begin with this category. For a given stress system, you will have to find out the normal stress and tangential stress on a given plane, and we know the sign conventions to be used to determine the normal stress and the tangential stress. So let us go with the first category. So let us take a theoretical. If I take a stress system, if it is subjected to normal stress in x direction, this is x1. Now I want to find out the normal stress and tangential stress on a plane making an angle theta. Now one thing is sure, this plane I can call it as principal plane because there are no shear stresses acting. But when I go away from this plane, any other plane you take, they will be having both normal stress as well as the tangential stress. Suppose here, if I take this as BE making an angle theta, I will separate out this BE. It is making an angle of theta. Now here, this is the stress acting. If I take it as sigma 1, if I take the thickness of the element is, we have got stress here, I want to convert it in force. So force will be stress into area. So sigma 1 is acting on an area of AB and the thickness of this is 1. So when I take the cross section like this thickness is 1 and this length is AB. So this is the force acting on the whole plane. So here my intention is to resolve this force in the normal direction and I will have to resolve it in the tangential direction. So I am going to find out on this plane BE what is the normal stress and what is the tangential stress. Now this line is making an angle theta with the vertical, then perpendicular to the line will make same angle theta with the horizontal. Now only thing you will have to do is this force you will have to resolve perpendicular to the plane, you will have to resolve the parallel to the plane. So if I resolve perpendicular to plane, sigma n, so this will be equal to, so force is sigma 1 into AB. If I resolve it, it is going along the angle and along the angle is cos theta divided by, this is a force by area. What is the area at which it is acting? BE and the thickness is 1. So this will be BE. So this I can write as sigma 1 AB by BE. AB by BE. See this is angle. This will be adjacent by hypotenuse and adjacent by hypotenuse is cos theta into cos theta. So this will be equal to sigma 1 cos square theta. Sigma 1 cos square theta. So this will give you the value of normal stress. If I go parallel to the plane, if I resolve the force parallel to the plane, this is the force here, sigma 1 into AB. If I resolve it here, we are going away from the angle and away we know is sin theta divided by area is BE into 1. So this will be equal to sigma 1 AB by BE. AB by BE. So this will be cos theta into sin theta. So we know sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. So I want sin theta cos theta. So this will be equal to sigma t will be equal to sigma half sigma 1 sin 2 theta. Half sigma 1 sin 2 theta. So this formula you can use to determine. Now here as per our sign convention, this value will be negative. It is downwards here. So we take the sign as negative. So these are the formulas that you will be using to determine the normal stress and tangential. You substitute the value of theta at any point, you get the value. Now suppose if theta is equal to 90 degrees, if theta is equal to 90 degrees, then what will be cos 90 0, there will be no normal stresses, and this sin 2 theta will be equal to theta will be 45 degrees. So we will see in the next case how to determine the maximum shear stress and maximum shear stress plane. So this is only in x direction. If they are biaxial stresses, so if there are stresses in x direction, sigma 1, and there are stresses in y direction also. So let this be sigma 2. A, B, C, D is a rectangular element. I want to find out on a plane BE which is making an angle of theta with the horizontal. With the x phase. This is my x phase. Now if I separate out this line BE, this will be very simple for me you to draw. Now here there are forces in x direction. So the force acting in x direction is sigma 1 into it is acting on a length of AB, and thickness as usual is 1. So this is a stress in x direction. You see in the y direction also. So this portion stress is acting sigma 2, it is acting for a distance of AE. So this will be sigma 2 into AE into thickness is 1. So these are the two forces that will be acting horizontally, vertically, which is in x and y direction. Now my intention is to find out how much will be the normal stresses, that is perpendicular to the surface, and if I resolve parallel to the plane, what will be the tangential stresses. Now this plane is making an angle of theta here, so this angle will also be equal to theta. So if you resolve the forces in the perpendicular direction, so this will go perpendicular, this will go perpendicular, both are in tension, so this will be positive. Suppose if I go with this one, sigma 1 AB, if I resolve it perpendicular, it is going along the angle is along this cos theta. This plus sigma 2 into AE, if this is cos, this will be sin theta, divided by it is acting on a plane of BE into 1. So this if you see sigma 1 into AB by BE will be equal to AB by BE will be equal to cos theta into cos theta, so this will be cos square theta, plus sigma 2 AE by BE, AE is opposite by hypotenuse, will be sin theta, so sin theta into sin theta will be sin square theta. If you substitute, cos square theta is equal to 1 plus 2 cos 2 theta by 2, and if you substitute sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. If I substitute the value here, you get the value of sigma 1 will be equal to sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 into cos 2 theta into cos 2 theta. So remember this formula. If you want to find out the normal stress on any plane making an angle theta, the formula will be, so I have substituted these values and simplified it. So after simplification you get this formula, sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 into cos 2 theta. On the same lines, if I go for the tangential stress, you get the value of the tangential stress is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. Here it is cos 2 theta, here it will be sin 2 theta. So try to remember this formula. So you will be knowing normal stress and tangential stress on a plane making. So here what I have done, if I want to find out this normal stress, sigma 1 AB, I'll have to go away from the angle. It will be sin theta. It is acting down minus. And if I resolve this force parallel to the plane, so it is, if this angle will also be theta, it will go along the angle, so this will be cos theta. One is down, another is up, the net effect will be negative, minus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 into sin 2 theta. Now here we have got normal stress and we have got tangential stresses. two forces can be replaced by a single force. If you see to the parallel law of forces, two adjacent forces are known to you, then the resultant is given by the diagonal. So this diagonal or resultant is given by under root sigma n square plus sigma t square. Sigma n square plus t square. So we come across a term known as obliquity. Obliquity. This obliquity is given by tan phi is equal to sigma t by sigma n. So once you find out sigma n and sigma t, you can find out the resultant stress, you can find out the angle of obliquity. Angle of obliquity is sigma t by sigma n. So let us use these formulas in solving the problems. So we have seen first category only uniaxial, second category in the biaxial. So we will see the combination of all the stresses where it is subjected to normal stresses as well as the shear stresses. If you consider that element A, B, C, D, let it be subjected to normal stresses in x direction. Stresses should be on both the faces. Stresses in y direction, sigma 2. This we have seen in earlier case also. Now these normal stresses, I can call it as principal stresses because they are acting on principal plane, and on principal plane there are no shear stress acting. Now in addition, if I add a shear stress here, Q, then they will not be the normal planes or normal stresses. Now in this combination, I want to find out an normal stress and the tangential stress on a plane making an angle theta. Now here again, if I go with the BE part, let us see what are the forces acting in the x direction. This force is acting in x direction, sigma 1 into AB. Now in this direction a portion of shear is also acting, so that will be Q into BE plus Q into BE. That portion is acting in the x direction. Now second forces is in the y direction. In the y direction you are seeing sigma 2 and shear is acting here on this plane in the upward direction. So Q into AB. AB A, B, we will go in the same notations as in earlier cases, C, D. So let us see sigma 1 into AB plus Q into B. So second sigma 2 into AD plus this shear is acting on the plane AB, so it will be plus Q into AB. So you know the shear forces acting in the x direction, you know the forces acting in x direction, forces acting in the y direction. Now you want to find out sigma n and sigma t. If this angle is theta, so this angle will be theta, this angle will be theta. Now to find out normal stress and tangential stresses, you will have to resolve all the forces perpendicular to the plane for normal stresses, parallel to the plane for the tangential stresses. If you simplify and find out, the formula that you will get is sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 into cos 2 theta plus q sin 2 theta. If you see the last case and this case, this part is there, this q has come into the play here, and the tangential stress is given by minus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 sin 2 theta plus q cos 2 theta. So these are the ultimate equations. If you remember these equations, you can apply to any type, whether sigma 1 is there or sigma 2 is there or q is there. If q is 0, this part will go away. These are the same problems, formulas as you have seen in the earlier cases subjected to biaxial bending. So remember this, sigma 1 is n is sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 cos 2 theta plus q sin theta. If this is cos, this is sin. Now here sigma t is equal to minus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 sin 2 theta, and this will be q cos 2 theta. So with this background, we will see some of the problems in the next video. Please subscribe the channel for more videos. Press the bell icon for notifications, and for comments or questions you can ask in the comment section. Thank you.